Hello, good afternoon, my friends, and welcome to Bianca MMM. First of all, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Please let me know in the chat how your Thanksgiving was. What did you guys do? What did you have to eat? Here in the US, we love Thanksgiving. I went to a friend's house and it was a very good time. We were all so grateful for our lives and everything. And we went around the table saying what we were thankful for, and I cried, and a lot of people cried because really our hearts were full of gratitude. Today, I have a very simple life, but I'm very grateful for the life that I have and for all of you that help me, and you guys keep me company all the time. And it's great to be here. Welcome to Bianca MMM for mind meditation and motivation. What do we do here? Well, we have some meditation videos, we have some motivational videos, but mainly we focus on the true crime, psychology, behavior analysis, and body language. Recently, we have been following the creator called Lauren Matthias, who is from the YouTube channel called Hidden True Crime. And we saw that she posted this 9-hour video saying, I'm afraid for my safety. I'm done keeping quiet. And we were very worried and we watched the whole thing. I watched it and I broke down the body language of Lauren and also of her husband, who is a psychology PhD, when he was supporting her claims. Now, when we were breaking down the body language on this channel, I found I was a little skeptical about believing her claims that her friend, that is no longer her friend, has now become a stalker to the point where she was really afraid for her life, for her safety, and her family's safety. As it turns out, as we watch the whole 9-hour saga video, it seems like she's just mad because somebody was saying, listen, we saw some text messages where you talked badly about people in the past, and if we want, we're going to expose you. And she thought, but that wasn't even like said, it was some of that story, but she takes it so deeply, so it's so concerning for her. And that's what we're going to look into today. So today we're going to take a look at the psychology level, the psychology and behavioral analysis, personality traits side of things. And no, I am not a psychologist. No, I am not diagnosing anybody. This video is for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. We watch things, we point out, and together we say, do we believe it? Do we not believe it? What do you guys think? What is a personality trait that we can see from here? So, no, I'm not a psychologist, but her husband sure is. And we did some of his body language last time. So, I just want to say welcome to everybody who's on the chat. My dear Karina, it's so good to see you here. Our wonderful Karina, as always. We have Day Gasgar. Oh, yes, I'm at Lausanne this Sunday night in the UK. So, this looks wonderful. We're going to have some fun, that's for sure. AKA the cat lady. Hey, Bianca, how are you, my friend? We got Ruthine, long time no see. Good to see you. I have missed you too. And we have Happy Sunday from Corina. I'm thankful for my family. Absolutely. We have Hi from Skies 296. And we have the Athlete One. Hello, hello. What is happening here? We're about to do some digging into some personality traits, and we're going to talk a little bit about narcissism. Have you guys ever met a narcissist? Wow, I met a narcissist, somebody with like NPD. We're going to talk about the difference between having a trait and having a personality disorder called NPD, where the person has almost no empathy and they just have all these traits and they enjoy watching other people suffer from them. They're kind of like emotional vampires. And once I encountered one in my real life, I was aghast. I was like, whoa, what just happened? I felt all over the place, super confused. And I read this book called Psychopath Free. I highly recommend, especially if you have a narcissist in your life or any type of emotional abuse relationship. That book, I heard it as an audiobook where the author was reading, and it was just so crucial in my life because after I listened to that book, I had so much understanding of what I was dealing with, that these people are out there, they walk among us, they have professions, and sometimes the relationship with them makes you suffer so much if you are like an empathetic person and you're just confused about how they feel about you. It could be anything. It could be a boss, a friend, a sister, a cousin, a boyfriend. It doesn't have to be an emotional, a romantic relationship. But once you encounter one, your life will change. At first, it was really harmful and hurtful and difficult to go through the phases after dealing with that person. But I grew so much from it. And today, I can pinpoint right away when I see a lot of characteristics of a narcissist. So, how do we start this, guys? What exactly is a narcissist? And what is a narcissistic personality disorder? What are the differences? Well, we all have a narcissistic trait. One, two, three. We all have a little bit of a trait of narcissism on us, right? We have ego, we have feelings of grandiosity. We all have a little bit of that sometimes, and that is completely normal. All human beings have a little bit of narcissistic traits. Now, what is a personality disorder? That is described in the DSM under personality disorders. And that's when the person has a certain number of those traits, and then somebody who is a medical professional will diagnose them as having a NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. Most of those cases, they have a different type of amygdala where we process in our brains emotions. So they're unable to feel compassion. They either have no amygdala or they have a very small one, and they just can't feel compassion. They can't put themselves in other people's shoes. Always about them. They're always, my ego, it's all, the ego is so big. The ego cannot be hurt. You cannot criticize them. They're always playing the victim. They're always the most important thing in the world. The world revolves around them. But most importantly, they don't have compassion for others. So that is what we're going to break down today when we talk a little bit about Lauren Matthias again, because I told you guys that as I watched that 9-hour video, I saw a few traits. And I was like, oh, I'll clip those traits. And then I'll ask everybody in the channel, what do they think? What do they see? We're not going to diagnose her as a narcissist, but we're going to see, does Laura Matthias show us any personality traits as a narcissist? So let's see who else is here today, guys. Good, 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 good to see you. Uh-oh, we already have people saying, I know one. I know one. I'm not gonna put who it is here, Ruth Ann, so we don't expose anybody, but it's good to see you guys. Hi Bianca chat and Mods, lots of love from Scotland. Wow, that's amazing. How is the weather over there? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Blessings over everyone. Yes, yes, guys. Happy Thanksgiving and holidays coming up to everybody. So we're gonna start here with my first slide that, well, actually, let's just put on this part that I thought it was very interesting. For some reason, Lauren thinks it's really, really gross to drink something. So we're gonna play that part and then I'm gonna stop for the first trade, okay? So let's take a look at Lauren taking a drink during her live. She's thirsty and look at her reaction.
Where's the root beer? I'm sorry, guys. It's probably so gross. So gross. So gross. Sorry, it's so gross. Where's the root beer? I'm sorry, guys. It's probably so gross. So gross. So gross. Sorry, it's so gross.
So, anyways, that is out of context. It has nothing to do with narcissism. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. We don't know. But why is it so gross to take a drink? Like, she's like, oh my gosh, guys, it's so gross. So, you see already that she cares a lot about how she's coming out, how she's portraying herself in the camera. And I'm not gonna lie, so do I. And so a lot of people that are creators and we are on the camera and we're facing you guys, we want to look our best. We want to do a good presentation for you. But I just thought it was interesting that she thinks like taking a drink in front of the camera is so gross. So, anyways, let's dig into the personality traits of a narcissist. What is a narcissist and how do we Find these people, okay? So one big trait we're gonna see, and I remember Sarah Boone doing that a lot. And that one, oh my, I almost want to say she is one. But playing the victim. A narcissist often plays the victim. They exaggerate their suffering and they shift blame to others and they avoid accountability to try to gain sympathy, control, and validation, right? So many times, and we're going to watch some clips of Lauren, but many times she would say something like, yes, I did send some text messages saying horrible things about somebody, but I'm human. So right away, you shift, you avoid accountability. It's always like there's a reason why I did something wrong. It's never I did something wrong, I'm sorry. Yeah, somebody just said here they never change. That's true. This is Clayton John, good to see you. They never change. Exactly. Love bombing, perpetual victim manipulators. Exactly. The love bombing is what got me, because this guy started talking to me and he was like, oh my god, all the time texting, and I'm like, wow, he loves me or something. But no, it was a love bombing phase, because after I was like into the whole web of lies, he was like, oh, today I can't see you, or he wouldn't text, or he wouldn't call. And I'm like, I'm so confused. Do you want to be with me or not? Do you want to talk to me or not? Like, just tell me, I'm an adult. And then he would be like playing games, and I didn't know what it was, but now I do. So no playing games with me, guys. No playing games. So let's take a look. I think we're gonna see a clip of her maybe playing the victim. But before that, some of the sentences that she did use: I protect the victims with my entire heart and soul, right? So I look at how she's making herself big. I do this, I protect victims. It's a big cause, it's important. I encounter threats, dehumanizing language. So she's gonna call every situation that happens to her, she's gonna say it's a threat. A voicemail is a threat. An email is a threat. A text message is a threat. Even though nobody's threatening her, she's the one threatening in the email and text that I will show. I'm not gonna just say things, I'm gonna show it to you. I have receipts. All I've endured, all I've gone through after everything I've done for everybody. If people really knew what I've endured. So those are phrases that she's going to use. So I think now we're going to go and see a few clips of her.
And I am so proud of my coverage, the trial and the justice I saw. Not by anyone I love, um, but people that I thought were friendly, and it was confusing. No one would talk to me. It's very weird. The text messages I've gotten.
So confusing that people wouldn't talk to me. It was very weird. So you see how important it is for the ego, right? Somebody doesn't want to talk to her in a public space, maybe she's with other creators, they wouldn't talk to her. She was like, it was very weird. It was, she hurts, the ego hurts. So here I hope she's not going to read that whole thing, but she's going to say what the creator told
Brace
Grayson that
yourself.
was going on.
Something's gonna go big. Something's gonna go viral. I'm not touching it. I'm not getting my hands dirty.
So if nobody knows who is what, Laura Mathias is the blonde lady reading. She's the one that has the YouTube channel. Grayson is her assistant. So Grayson asked the creator that we don't know the name, what's going on? What are they talking about? Lauren, she's being ignored at events. So this creator is responding, I don't know what to tell you. Something big is going on, etc.
Quote. So what did I do? That was absolutely devastatingly frightening to me.
Frightening. So what I want to focus here is her reaction to this, right? The creator is not saying anything frightening, really. Let's go back a second and see if we can read a little bit of what the creator said. So I'm going to go into the middle. There are a lot of people that are really, really, really pissed off right now. That's all I really know. People are mad. I would say brace yourself based on a few things that I have heard here and there. Something's in the works. A couple messages I got were keep an eye on your notification because we're going to blow this beep up. I don't want to say it's over. It's getting kind of ramped up. And that's reading the text messages that I've gotten. Brace yourself, something going big, going viral. I'm not getting my hands dirty. Let me go ahead and read the beginning to see if I find it's anything so threatening. The only thing I can tell you is that there are so many people right now, they are pissed off. They're calling for her head on a platter. Okay, so the people are calling for her head on a platter, right? In the creative world, in the YouTube world. So that's not literally her head in a platter. It's a figure of speech, obviously. It's pretty much the message I can get. That's pretty much all I know. It's just being a lot of mean things. Okay, so mean things. Just in a first time text or text from someone I don't talk to, it's like, oh my God, I just think from the text message I've seen, I would prepare something publicly at some point. Okay, so really there is no substance here, right? There is no real substance in this message. It's just saying something is happening, something's coming up. But then what we want to focus on is Lauren's reaction to this. She's like, I was frightened
Well,
because somebody's
so what
talking
did I
about
do?
me. Let's
That was
hear.
absolutely devastatingly frightening to me. I had no idea what that meant. And so I decided to call the police because at that
Whoa,
point, I am fearful for my safety with
so
such a
gross.
vague threat. And the police, we're going to get to this later. I'm not eating. So I have root beer here for sugar high. I have my water.
Poor
Really
you.
quickly, Grayson, do we want to start with what a civil stalking injunction?
She's such a victim. I'm not
That's what
eating.
John and I have been talking about a lot too. Like, I feel like Charles Vallow running around, like trying to get people to understand what's going on and trying to figure out what's happening, and no one will talk to me.
No one will talk to me. So no one will talk to her, okay? To her translates in everybody calls me dark. I'm kind of like Charles Vallow. Charles Vallow is a victim, an actual victim that was murdered in one of the trials she covered. But see how her ego is so hurt by the fact that some people don't want to talk to her. That to her equals death, equals like I am being murdered, I am such a victim. So that is one trait that someone with actual narcissism can display, because their ego, it's a inflated ego, but at the same time they're empty inside. So when somebody hurts their ego, their reaction to it is much bigger than reality would be. If somebody says to me, hey, Bianca, so and so don't like you, they don't like your face, they don't like what you say, they don't want to talk to you, I'll be like, all right, bye. What am I going to do? I can't force everybody to like me. We all know in this world there will be people that don't like us. But I'm not going to cry about it and be like, oh my God, I'm like Charles Vallow, labeled as dark. So let's keep going on the victim side of.
And then all of a sudden they get labeled dark.
And this has been ongoing for months, what I have been dealing with.
All right, so that was a few of the victim displays, right? What do you guys think? Okay, so nobody's really agreeing with her victim, her cries for help here. Who on earth would tape themselves in bed? Hey, a lot of people tape themselves in bed, not crying, I don't think, but anyways, the pose in bed, can't, crying on camera, attention and lack of it triggers something. Yeah, and she's saying that video, oh, I'm not gonna show this ever. It's just we're just gonna record it for journalism purposes. Maybe breathe into a paper bag, princess. Actually, before her 9 hour live, there was nothing on YouTube, only one TikToker. After that 9 hour live, YouTube exploded. All caused by Laura herself. Must be great improvements. Exactly. She's the one that called attention to the. She was doing fine. She was doing great. Her channel was going well. I think, I don't know if it's still going on. I hope so. I have nothing against her. I just, like I said before in these videos about her, I think she needs actual help. Her husband is not helping by saying to her, yeah, you're right about everything. He's actually making things worse. And all of a sudden, she brings attention to this case, and everybody's like, Yes, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. This is pathetic. I thought she said this part is so gross about what she was talking about. No, I'm pretty sure she meant drinking because she did it at two different parts of this video where right before she drinks, she's like, "Oh my God, this is so gross. I'm sorry, this is so gross." So later, check it out again. It's I know I repeated it, but it's two different parts of the video that she says that. How do we get to this? At least we have something to talk about, Calico. It's Sunday afternoon here in Florida. It's a rainy day. You know what I mean? We're together and that's fun. She watches too much true crime. That's true. That's true. So do I. A lot of times I'm like, wait a second, this is not going to end well. Why is she so offended? That's the point exactly. Lauren seems most offended that she's being shunned in places where I belong. That's what she says. I belong. What makes her more qualified than anyone else that makes her belong somewhere over others? Exactly. So that's the thing. The feeling that she has, the painful feeling that she truly has, apparently, is because she is being shunned. Is because other people don't like her, so her ego is being hurt. And that's why I thought, wow, that could be a characteristic of narcissism. I don't know if you guys agree or not. And I'm not a psychologist. I was just like, wow, she really seems like a victim here. And I'm not sure she is a victim. Anyways, let's go to number two, grandiosity. Wow, the world and me. I affect the world. Everything that happens to me happens to the whole world. A sense of importance, exaggerating achievements, positioning themselves as superior to others. Even her attorneys talking during the court audio that I actually am going to release right after this live. You can hear the entire audio of the court, the attorneys talking about her case, the judge responding, and the defendant's attorneys as well. So even her attorneys are going to say something like, the respondent is not a creator. She doesn't have right to be in a courtroom. My client is a journalist. Like, just like putting herself in a pedestal bigger than others, a sense of power in every interaction. Remember her behavior. She sends cease and desist letters to people she works with because she wants them to not be able to talk about working with her. They don't want people to she doesn't want people to know about her personality, about her behavior. So she sends them cease and desist letters. There's one point in this video where she's going to say something like, when I finally got control over the situation. So again, she's going to show that she needs to have control over the situation. So, anyways, let's see if we can find any grandiosity here on these next videos. Let me just see some of your comments in the meantime. Yeah, overstating
like,
abilities. Let's see.
If there's any hope for kindness in this world and compassion and evidence, how about evidence? And then just wondering about this world in general. I think I've been really depressed because I just think about this world in general and raising my son in it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's not me. I'm good. This isn't me.
So you see what I mean? She's worried about the world in general and how she's going to raise her son in this world that doesn't have compassion or evidence because somebody said something bad about her. They didn't even say something bad about her. She said something bad about people because she has that trait. It's something she does over and over. She's going to show in her 9-hour video that she's the type of person that talks about people behind their backs. She's going to tell you guys. She's going to say, I was talking to this producer or this, I think it was a producer that I was working with. He quit on me, but we were talking about the girl that was at the house. I called her annoying. I said she was obnoxious. So she's going to tell us how many times she talks about people behind their back. And now she's going to, and then people are going to be mad at that. And they're going to say, hey, you're talking behind my back. Like I heard what you said about me. say it in my face or something like that. And then she's like, oh my God, how could there be hope for this world? About compassion, about this. I worry about how I'm going to raise my son in this world because they found out about her behavior. So it's fascinating to me, right? It's fascinating to me how these personality traits happen, and the person really believes that they don't see their reality is just not the same reality that a lot of other people live in. Because when I see that, I'm like, well, obviously there's, you got caught. Like if I get caught talking badly about somebody behind their back, guess what? My bad. I did it. It's my mistake. I shouldn't have done it. I did it, and it's embarrassing. But she's like, there's no hope for the world. So feelings of grandiosity. Let's keep
I
going
just learned
here.
that people like public shaming.
And look at her face in the bottom,
I don't
like
know. I just worry about this
agreeing
world
to
and this
with
world.
herself.
And I want to be honest with things. That's who I am. I do
That's who I
pride
am.
myself on being a very honest person. So
Someone I've been good to that I've never brought up before, I was always good to her. That know me, that I've been kind to.
but the reason and where I have found my bravery to do this,
To be okay. Everything will be okay. I really.
So she's honest, she's kind. That's just the type of person she is. She's been good to everybody. Her bravery, how the world can go on like this. Do you feel any type of sense of grandiosity here, or is it just me? Did I clip this right? Or am I like seeing too much into this? And another thing that I wanted to point out is that right there at the bed, she just said, everything will be okay. I know it will. So if she was really afraid for her safety, if she was really like worried about somebody following her, her kids stalking her, whatever the case may be that she was alleging in the beginning, why would she say everything's going to be okay? I mean, her husband, who is a PhD psychologist, he's an actual psychologist, was reading us books about people who will murder people, like stalkers that will get to the point to follow their victims and murder them. Like he is increasing her fantasies, saying that this girl that simply doesn't talk to her anymore and made a few TikTok videos about her is a stalker of the same kind. So it's very incredible. And you guys know the reason why I did this video on her, because I wasn't even trying, I didn't even want to do a video on another creator, but I wanted to point out how serious it is for her husband, the doctor, to get involved and to write a letter to the court about somebody who is a civilian, who's just speaking her mind, and who doesn't like his wife. She has that right. She has the right to not like his wife. She has the right to make videos about his wife, as long as she doesn't threaten her, as long as she doesn't defame her, right? If she says something that is untrue, then she could go and say, hey, this is defamation, right? She would have to go to do that. But if it's something that is true, even Lauren herself will say, go ahead, criticize me if I'm doing something wrong. Go ahead. So I don't understand how it got so big for her and her husband to go and write to the court like letters from a psychologist calling the girl, saying the girl has a, what is it, anti-personality traits, which is the same as a psychopath. That was crazy to me. So, I'm sure they won't mind that we're pointing out some narcissistic traits here. Carolina. In Portuguese, we say Carolina. She knew exactly what that YouTube creator was referring to. Oh yeah, she got caught. So she's the best man say, if you're saying I'm honest or good, you're probably not. Oh my gosh. Kelly Kel, but you have to watch her Mormon Stories Part 2 interview. John is grandiose too and got in her head. Can I email his dating profile to you? Lauren put it in her book. And it's crazy and grandiose. Yes. I'll send you my email. And Yeah, I would love to do that. Maybe we can do that next Sunday, because I want to do this live, as many as I can on Sundays, unless I'm doing something in church or something. But yeah, let's get to that. So should I watch her part one interview and then her part two, or should I just watch part two to create something for us next Sunday? Let me know. Okay, so let's keep going. I think we're still under the grandiosity traits, so let's see if we find
I
anything.
will. But I'm like a really resilient person.
Oh, she's
in my opinion.
resilient. That's my opinion. So she says, I'm brave, I'm honest, I'm good. I'm very proud of my work. I'm a very resilient person. At least that's my opinion. It's fine. It's fine. It's actually great to have good self-esteem, to work hard, and to do things well. I have no problem with that. But what I'm saying is that a lot of times she uses that as an excuse, right? She tries to say, hey, you can't criticize me, I'm good. Or I did talk beep, I talk shit about that person, but it's because I'm human. Or you only found this stuff on my cell phone when I am talking badly about other people because you went through my cell phone. If I went through your cell phone, you would be afraid too. And I'm like, no, lady, I don't think so, because I don't really have that habit. I mean, not everybody does. I think that sure, maybe we say something, but it's not gonna be like I'm afraid for my safety because what you're gonna find that I said on my phone. Anyways. So let's go to category number three of a narcissistic personality trait: entitlement. Entitlement is a pattern of narcissistic behavior characterized by an unreasonable and unrealistic sense of special treatment and privileges, which is ultimately driven by a sense of superiority. So you have to do it because it's her. You have to treat her a certain way. How dare you not? So let's see if we have anything on entitlement here. If you want to laugh, laugh all you want. Okay, let's see.
Close friends. And after this phone call, I try not to, but I start crying hard. And Lori, Lindsay, and my
Okay, so this
stalker,
is when somebody quits on her. So she had a person that was working for her and they quit. So she takes it again, right? Very seriously. And she says, I was crying, devastated.
who are my roommates in this Airbnb, they comfort me.
And
And I am
Christina, who she's
embarrassed and I
angry
keep
about,
apologizing for crying.
was helping her
And I
there.
am grateful for their kindness. In fact, it was a very traumatic moment for me. And I guess I can say I'm still grateful for their kindness in that moment. Leave court early that day because I had.
Okay, so here we have a comment from Silent Murmur saying the stalker, I guess you mean Christina, because the court has not agreed that she's a stalker yet. We're gonna release the court audio right after this video. Uh, Made 65 videos about her or something like that and told the manager where she works that she and her husband are untrustworthy. Okay, so untrustworthy is you are allowed to say that, and that his PhD credentials are fake and people believe it. I think what I've heard, and I could be wrong, Sally Murmur, I apologize if I'm mistaken, but I do think that it was like a confusion. Like he said something about being at a university, and when they checked his credentials from being at that university, they couldn't find it. That's what Christina said, I believe. And then that he was indeed there, but it wasn't showing on the website. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. It's fine. Uh, but I don't think Christina is actually stalking her. On the contrary, I think Lauren has been the one following everything Christina does, following every video, even when it has nothing to do with her, even when it's a music video. Lauren's like, it's about me and she needs to stop. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I'm sure the chat will know and give us more information on that. Let me just close this window here. Let me make this better. She keeps acting like this is so professional. these are not professional behaviors. No, it was a bad career move on her part for sure. You do that in private, unless it's a real situation, you do that in private. You go and you talk to a therapist about how you're feeling. The therapist will probably point out it's not okay, that a lot of things are not exactly how you see. But unfortunately, apparently, she goes to her husband, who actually believes just like she does, or even worse. Um, Okay, so here we have he's a volunteer legal counsel with PhD career. He's unpaid legal counsel. I believe he's a PhD psychologist. I believe that absolutely. Okay, so yep, there was a FOIA for the university, and they have no record of John working or even volunteering there for 2 decades. Something like that is what I heard, but it's okay. Okay, so here we go. Silent Murmur, the stalker. Let's not call her the stalker, right? Her name is Christina. She has not been proven in court to be a stalker or in any kind. But okay, Christina insinuated herself into their personal lives. I don't see how. If you have a specific example, we're going to show you the text messages that Christina sent to Lauren. And that's all we have as actual evidence for now. And also in the court audio, you can listen to the whole thing. There was nothing there where it was proving that Christina was following her or inserting herself. Again, on the opposite side, right? Christina was at a convention that she bought a ticket like a year ago. Lauren decided to go last minute. She wanted the police to say to the girl she cannot participate in the convention. Christina was crying, like so ugly and unfair. Again, control, manipulation, just very ugly behavior. She wasn't even going and she pretends she was working there. But anyways,
Panic
let's
attack
keep going.
about
Oh, so she had a panic attack when this person quit working for her. And this person also said bad things to her. Like she said, I think there's another video we're going to see. But her reaction is what we're focusing on right now, right? I had a panic attack. I was crying because somebody said I quit. And that's a very common thing in the professional world, right?
private texts of mine perhaps being released because people were angry at me. It was a very frightening thought.
So it is frightening to her that people may be angry at her and that her text messages may be released. It's frightening to her. So you see how the ego is so hurt, right? She really I do believe that she feels this way. And that's what is concerning, because I do believe she really feels this way. I was frightened. I was scared. I was just because somebody's going to release my text messages. So I always say from a long time ago, because I worked in the mortgage industry and I had to do a lot of processing of letters and, letters from the court, letters from immigration, letters from personal reference. And I used to read a lot of stories from people trying to get financing when they would explain the situation to an underwriter. And I remember like reading everything and all the different stories and learning a lesson early on in my life, thankfully. The lesson is, always remember what you write in a text message, what you email in an email may one day be used in court. So let's make sure that when we write and when we text and when we email and when we search online, that we are being the same type of person that we would be in front of anybody, that we wouldn't be embarrassed about it. Because one of the things that I see a lot when I'm watching the 48 hours, oh, it was the perfect murder. And then his search history was like, how do I kill my wife with this and that? How do I stab her? And that's exactly what happened in the crime. So there is no reason for us to have that much fear for having a text message released, right? But you see how her ego here is very, very delicate about it. So let's keep going.
Private texts of mine perhaps being released because people were angry at me. It was a very frightening thought. So at this moment, I'm having a panic attack about text messages being released. I'm worried about a friend whose feelings I've hurt. I'm worried about the potential of what this means. Thank you. I'm not trying to be threatening, is exactly that. It's threatening. And I am worried that a vulnerable conversation that I just had with somebody in a courthouse now was recorded and being shared to people who might be calling me and threatening me. This was a very overwhelming moment for me. Very.
So again, very overwhelming. She's talking about somebody called her and threatened her. The voicemail was not a threat, right? We all heard the voicemail. Somebody says, "Hi, my name is Liz. I know you said you don't remember me, but please give me a call. Just want to clarify some things." And Liz says in her voicemail, "I'm sure it's very uncomfortable that some people found out the things you said. They found out already the things you said, but you're telling everybody you don't know who I am, so give me a call to clarify this." And then Lauren's like, "I felt threatened. Like, you have no idea how that affected me because people could find out, and I didn't know what that meant and what implications it could cause." So she's really, again, trying to protect the ego, trying to protect the image, because if somebody finds out the things she really says behind the scenes, it's not going to look good for her. So the ego is so inflated that it hurts profoundly to the point where it causes a panic attack that somebody may find out she's not perfect, right? So it's overwhelming moments for her.
I can't even explain what I felt in that moment. Thank you to the people who were there for me.
Out there. And for those reasons, I deserve more scrutiny and criticism. And I believe in public discourse and to criticize me when people feel I'm not doing what's right or best in the public eye.
And that's exactly what we're doing here, right? We don't feel like the video she put out for 9 hours is not the best for her, for the public. It was just unnecessary, attention-seeking video. And fine, we're all attention-seeking on YouTube, right? In one way or another, we're all trying to get views, followers, content creation here. But it didn't go well with her channel. She already has a channel. She already has a brand. She's already doing very well. It wasn't good for her to say all those things without any substance. If it was true, sure, maybe. But if it was really true, what did I say before? She would have been talking to a therapist, protecting her family, not reading about her son's mental, the implications of his mental health on camera, which she said she'll never do, and then she does it in the same video. She would just be taken care of in a healthy way. I'm not blaming her at all completely, because I do think she's in a situation where her husband thinks the same way or worse. I mean, his video was terrible. We were very I was very, what do you call, disappointed with a PhD psychologist to do so much verbal harm to someone he never treated as a patient, to call somebody a psychopath pretty much, and to say all those things that she could potentially murder. What are you going to do next? Show up at my house and kill me? Like, the girl never said anything close to that. And the fact that he just lost his professionalism to say all those things in camera was very disappointing. So, anyways, another trait we have here is blame shifting and projection. Have you ever been with a narcissist that cannot take responsibility for anything? It's never their fault. "I only cheat on you because you talk too much. I only cheat on you because you blink too many times. I only cheat on you because you breathe too loud." Okay? So it is not my fault that I have to cheat on you. So a narcissist deflects responsibility and blames others for their own mistakes, behaviors, or emotions. They cannot have their ego hurt. So even if they see they made a mistake, it's kind of like blacked out on their face. They cannot process that. They may want to project their negative traits onto others and avoid accountability. So let's see if we have any of those examples here. Let's see another thing that
So
happens.
the stalker says, I know your ex-friends are releasing everything, and it is horrible what they are sharing. And I cannot believe what you said about me. I knew what I had said about her. I told all of you at the beginning of this, I called her annoying.
Okay, so what did Lauren say? "I called her annoying." That's it. But she called her a lot more than that, which is fine. But man up, don't uh don't like how do I say this? Don't try to run from your mistakes, your responsibilities.
She came up to me and said, I know what you said about me. She was crying. Gave her a hug. A few of the things she stated were, well, first off, I want to point out that there was a no recording.
Okay, before we do that, okay, one thing I want to point out, Lauren, is that she's extremely fake all the time. I mean, she keeps showing up this behavior of being fake AF, and I am sick of it. Like, stop being a fake AF, beeps, okay? Because I don't like that at all. I hate that. Unfortunately, I was born with this ability of reading people. Sometimes it's unfortunate because I get into a room, I say hi to somebody, I hug somebody, and I can tell if they're being genuine or not. And one thing that pisses me off about Lauren is the fact that she says things like, oh, yeah, she came up to me, she gave me a hug, I hugged her. And then 5 seconds later, she's gonna put herself in a pedestal, but nobody was supposed to film there, and she was filming. Ha ha. I'm not gonna say nothing about that, but she was filming. Huh? Like, she's gonna make a face to show how superior she is and how the other person is inferior. But listen, lady, you're fake all the time. If I was dealing with you, I would probably be recording too, to protect myself. Okay. And then later she says, I love you so much, Christina. Thank you for talking to me. I'll always defend you forever to the moon and back. I love you so much. The same day, she says, Christina, if you don't stop talking to me, I'm going to take legal measures against you. She's fake all the time. You know what I mean? She's talking to the person who quits working for her. She's saying, oh, Christina is at my house and she's so obnoxious, annoying, she's loud, she's always defensive. Those are the things she called her. She did not just say, I called her annoying. That's it. That's a lie. Stop being fake. You know what I mean? Like, always, always with people. The other person she's gonna talk about is somebody called Janice. She's gonna say, I don't like Janice. Janice does this, does that, does that. I wouldn't do that. She does all these things I'm against. But I saw her at court and I was like, I was friends. I was friendly with her. Don't be friendly with somebody you don't like. Just don't say hi or just say good morning, and that's it. Don't pretend like you're friends with people you don't like. That's being fake. That's not being genuine. And then you say, I'm honest, I'm brave, I'm resilient, I'm great, I'm always good to people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, is it just me? Is it just me? I don't like it.
Order in the courthouse, a severe no recording order in the courthouse. Why? Because there's a high profile, internationally well-known trial
Look at her
going on.
face.
And every day we are reminded that there's to be no recording in all of the courthouse, not just the courtroom, but the courthouse.
Right.
And that if you are to record in the courthouse, you'll be held in contempt of court. And that there are signs everywhere saying, do not record in the courthouse. I would have never thought she was recording. Clarify that. I reached out to my contractor who's live streaming the Alec Baldwin
thought she was recording.
trial.
But she did that. You see, it's just like a moment of grandiosity, of putting herself above and in a pedestal. I never thought she would do something like that. She would break the rules. But what was happening in that situation is more important, right? You said, I want to talk to you. She was like, no. And you're like, come on, please, let's talk. You insisted. The girl's like, I don't want to talk to you. I know what you said about me. And Laura said, oh, yes, I did, because she was found out, because she's used to being fake. If she was not found out, she probably would have never said nothing, right? And then what did she do? Oh, yeah, I did say things about you, but I didn't know you well back then. Now I know you, and I'm sorry, and I need to work on myself, and blah, blah, blah. And then the girl leaves. She's like, oh, thank you for talking to me. And the text messages happen. You know what I mean? Like, just stop being fake. Like, just be yourself. If you don't like somebody, that's fine. You don't have to pretend to like everybody else. It's worse, in my opinion.
And I asked how things are going with the streaming. So I discussed work in a text with this ex-employee, ex-contractor, then contractor.
So and she's saying, look at how she avoids responsibility. She's saying, I discussed work with this contractor. Let's see how it goes.
Explain that I like this press room for the moment before heading to the courtroom because, and I'm going to say this verbatim, this is what my text says to her, quote, it's space from roommates. One of them is kind of annoying. This contract worker.
So the contractor said, no, Lauren said, right? About Christina. This is how those whole things started. Laura's texting her contractor saying, well, I like the setup. It's space, for work. Some people are annoying. Okay.
And asks if it was the one I had on a live that
Oh, who do you mean it's annoying? Christina?
morning in front of the courthouse. And I explained that it was.
So this is no longer a work conversation, is it? Maybe. Okay, so she says, I had a professional conversation, a work conversation, which she's going to say it's a private conversation. Like she loves to say private. It's private. It's not against the law to like release your private text messages. But, anyways, so then she's saying, oh, one of the girls in the house is pretty annoying. Oh, who? Christina? Yeah, Christina. So this is just your personality. You're talking shit about people behind their back, being fake because you're going to go home and cry on her shoulders, right? And that's just who you are. So far, you can change, but that's who you're showing you are. And then you get mad that people know who you are now.
The contract worker states back to me in a text message, not going to lie, that person is obnoxious. Don't put her on camera again, laughing face emoji.
Okay, so somebody else. The contractor said, yeah, Christina's obnoxious. Okay, let's see what Lauren says.
I agree. And I say she is constantly anxious, loud, and worried. End quote.
Okay, so you didn't just call her annoying, right? Consciously anxious, loud, and worried. So you're talking shit behind her back, Take responsibility.
They're horrible. They're terrible. Your friends are horrible. They're cruel. I can't believe what they said. I can't believe what you said.
Yeah. And I am human. I am human.
Mm-hmm.
And I put myself out there. And for those reasons, I deserve more scrutiny.
All right, we're scrutinizing.
Guys, aside from John, imagine 6 years of Facebook Messenger messages, text messages, everything. And finding out that people are saying horrible things about me because I said horrible things in private messages that are leaking.
See, she cannot take responsibility. She can say the whole phrase, people are saying horrible things about me. And then when she says, because I said horrible things about people, she has to defend herself, right? She has to continue. But that's just because of this and that. So you just admitted you said horrible things about people. We know. So what? Just take responsibility for who you are and for what you're saying about people. Don't be like, oh my God, now I feel threatened because they're going to release the things I said about people and I'm horrible. Don't feel threatened. You know what I mean?
Like, what the fuck? And
yeah,
I'm gonna be the first to be honest. Like 6 years of messages. I hope all of you would be afraid.
No, I'm not afraid.
I hope you'd be afraid too. Screenshots of mine have been shared.
Yeah, of yours.
Some when I've been angry at other creators.
So again, screenshots where I've been angry at other creators. So what is she saying, guys? She's saying, I wrote shit about other people and then people shared. That is not a threat. That's just, they're finding out. That's
Got over it later. Those have been being shared. I'm ashamed of that. Maybe you can edit that later, but
maybe we'll just edit that later. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. I'm not trying to crucify anything like her behavior. What I don't like is the fake, is the blaming others, is the making herself a victim. Those things I don't like. There is nothing wrong with making a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. I say, listen, guys, that day I wasn't being my best. I was angry, or I was like too selfish. I wasn't even trying to listen to you. I'm sorry. I've had a friend say, Bianca, I love you no matter what, bad days or good days. And I was so happy about that. I was like, thank you. Because I always want to be good for you, And the same way. So I understand how she feels. But then what I don't see, what lacks here is her saying, yeah, that was messed up. Guys, I did a lot of stuff that I am not proud of. I was talking bad about people. I was doing this. Listen, I was dealing with a lot of stress. I'm going to take a look at my behavior. I apologize. And just leave it alone. Don't make a whole big deal. Oops, sorry. Don't make a whole big deal about yourself now and just like acting like they are the wrong ones for exposing something that you're doing. Like you're doing it. Um, so here we have Silent Murmur, who is her avid defender here on the chat today. She has a right to request a stay of the expired restraining order without it being recorded on live stream for social media to scrutinize on a popular law and crime channel. Yes, but the judge also has the right to deny it, which he did. So you have to go according to the rules of law, right? You can't just change the law because you feel like maybe you have to have special treatment. The judge denied it. And please listen to the whole audio. The judge is not going to agree with her that Christina's behavior is stalking. He's saying, like, it looks like she's just exercising her free speech, and you don't like that she's talking badly about you. Just hold your hands up. Nope, I'm not afraid. Ruth Ann says anyone can look at text. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Lauren, on the other hand, apparently can't say that. Instead, has a meltdown. Exactly. So let's keep going here.
Continue to clarify every day. And then when I finally feel like I get a hold of it, so it's not just like the cyberbullying
I
that's
get a hold of
public,
it.
it's what's going on beneath the surface. It'll be okay. Everything will be okay.
It will. It's gonna be
It really
fine.
will. But
Relax.
I'm like a really resilient person, in my opinion.
And I am a journalist. I am a mother trying to protect my family.
I didn't even
and
know
my
how good that
little
effect was, man. Let me go back a little bit. I'm sorry. I know, Silent Murmur, you're probably not gonna like this channel because we don't believe, Lauren. A lot of us don't believe Lauren. But let's check here that effect again.
And I am a journalist. I am a mother trying to protect my family and my little boy who has a YouTube channel. And yes, I've become a limited public figure. I'm just a mom.
Just a mom. Just like Jennifer McCabe. I'm just a mom. We're just moms. We're not plotting anything. We're just moms. But you see, she says in certain areas of this video, she says, I know I'm a public figure, which means she has different, the law applies differently to her, right? Especially the defamation laws. Now, certain times she's going to say, I'm just a limited public figure. So, and another time when she's doing the bed scene with Grace, and she's saying, I know I'm a public figure, and Grayson's like, let's don't say that. Like, let's take a break here real quick because you don't want to say that. It's just like, fine, just be who you are. You're a journalist, right? You call yourself a journalist. I'm a journalist. I have a respectable YouTube channel. I am a mom, and you know what? I'm stressed out because of all these things I've been working on, and I freaked out. I called a bunch of people, a bunch of things. I need a break. That's it. I'm sure everybody would understand. Your audience would understand. Stop making other people's lives hell because you don't like how it affects you. That's not cool. Not cool for your husband to be writing letters to the court, calling somebody a psychopath that is capable of murder because she made videos about you. That is not cool. That is not cool. Saying that you're not going to use your son's mental health for entertainment and then reading about his mental health on your channel, that's not cool. Telling people, I like you, let's just be friends, I love you so much, and then talking badly about, behind their back, that's not cool. When I don't like somebody, I don't have a relationship with them. It's as simple as that.
I am a limited public figure.
Anyways, let's go to the next category, boundaries. Disregard for boundaries. When you have a narcissist, and I'm not saying she's a narcissist, guys. Again, this is just for entertainment, to show traits, to see if you guys ever encountered this situation before. The narcissist will violate other people's boundaries by intruding on their personal space, dismissing their needs, and demanding attention.
So I said, let's talk. Let's talk. And she's like, no, I don't want to.
I don't want to talk. Christina said to Lauren, I don't want to talk.
I don't want to. And I said, you know what? Please allow me to talk with you right here about it. I called you annoying. And I'm sorry.
No, you called her annoying, always worried. What else? Three more things. Like three more things. It was like, fine. You called her a bunch of things, so you got
I didn't
caught.
know you well then. And I
Here
told
comes the
her essentially
excuses.
that I felt like perhaps at that time that she was further along in the friendship than I was. Um, maybe she thought we were closer than I felt at that time.
Maybe. Anyways, power and control. Let me hide some of this information here so I can read this. Power fantasies and control. A narcissist may create fantasies of superiority, influence, or revenge to reinforce this sense of power. They often believe they hold special knowledge or authority and may use these imagined advantages to intimidate or manipulate others. Yeah, she called her a lot more. And lack of empathy. That is a big one for me. And I have no idea if Lauren has empathy or not. I'm just saying this was a big one for me because I couldn't understand how this person would just like watch me cry or whatever and didn't care. So, narcissists, the ones that are real narcissists, often show a complete lack of concern for the feelings, needs, or suffering of others. They are unwilling or unable to recognize or identify with other people's emotions or experiences. So here we go. We're going to go with some motivational time. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, even if it's a friend, the only solution I found based on the book I read called Psychopath Free was no contact. There is no cure. If they really have the disorder, I'm not talking about a trait. I'm not talking about like somebody who may make themselves a victim once in a while or have grandiosity once in a while. I'm talking about people that have no empathy, right? There is no cure for them. You cannot change that person, and nothing you do will make them happy. They have the inability, they're like empty inside. So please, guys, do not stay in a relationship like that where you have emotional trauma and abuse and you're always feeling less than and you're always feeling put down and you're always feeling like you're not good enough. Life is so big and there's so many opportunities out there. There's so many wonderful people to meet that you don't need to be with somebody who is like that. Okay, just my 2 cents here. So let's see if we have anything like that from her. Okay, here we go. This is one of my favorite parts. Where is Silent Murmur, her friend Silent Murmur, who's here in the chat today? Because this is where Lauren, so after Lauren ignored her boundaries, right? She said, Christina, let's talk. Christina said, I don't want to talk. Then Lauren said, listen, I know I called you annoying, which is a lie. She called her other names, right? But let's say, okay, fine. Let's minimize your faults, right, Lauren? Fine. Wink, wink. Then she says, I love you, Christina. I'm so sorry. Thank you for talking to me. I have a lot of process about myself. So then Christina says, thanks for letting me vulnerable and being vulnerable about yourself. So then Lauren continues the love bombing because she can't just leave it alone. She cannot have the thoughts that anybody may not like her or see her as a perfect person. So she continues love bombing Christina, even though she doesn't mean it, because this is 9:52 a.m. and April 9th, same day later, she's gonna threaten her with legal action. So right, Lauren, everything I love about you is real and sincere. Everything I judged you on before, I gave you a chance. I was wrong. Unfortunately, you can't erase words and they hurt. I'll forever regret. Lie, because you don't regret anymore, right? I'll forever regret things I said and thoughts. But the truth is, I defend you to the moon and back forever. And I do. That's a lie. But I realize it will take a long time to earn your trust. I never earn it again. And if I don't, I understand. I was so wrong. But know that no matter what, no matter where our paths lead in life, I will forever defend you. And I'll call you a dear friend with the biggest heart I know. I'll do anything for you if you ever need me. That is in the morning, guys. And I hope I have the evening one here. Okay, I do. This is the same day. Same day. Okay, 8:50 p.m. Hey, that's Lauren. Look at the tone. Hey, it's no longer I love you so much. Hey, I would appreciate you not talk about our private conversation, which you described as vulnerable with other people. I have done this for you. So it's not, I wanted to apologize, right? Yet I am already getting calls about things I said to you in confidence and I feel threatened. So she wasn't threatened, she feels threatened. Difference. Do not order. This is an order from Lauren. Do not screenshot or share private conversations that are meant to be private. Do not share things I've said to you in private because they are considered private. And I reiterate this is becoming a threatening matter, and I will have to take legal action if it continues. That is a threat. Threat number one, Lauren. And I apologize, I misspelled her name here on the first line. Lauren threatened Christina first. That is the first threat of the story, guys. Lauren tells Christina not to talk about or else, right? First of all, she writes private like 5 times. She says she's feeling threatened twice. And that's because it's how she feels, right? But what you feel is not reality. Just because we feel a certain way is not reality. That is why it's good to have like feedback, to have a friend, a mentor, a counselor. I even mentioned here before that some people that work the 12 steps, they have a sponsor. And when they have a situation, they call, they say, hey, I'm arguing with this person. This is what they say. What do you think? Bounce back, because the other person being normal would say, oh, but you just apologized this morning, right? Well, did somebody really threaten you? What did they say? That's how I usually ask people. I'm like, okay, so you feel that way, but what exactly happened? Let me see. Can I read it? Like, let me see what happened. Because just because you interpret a certain way doesn't mean it's true, right? And then Christina responded, Lauren, I can confidently say what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anybody about our conversation. For your other requests, I think you already know I'm not the one that you need to worry about when it comes to sharing private conversations. And then she says, I'll be honest, receiving a message like this, especially with the accusations and threats, really puts a salt in the wounds, etc. I can see what else is there. But you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me that you can love bomb somebody in the morning and threaten them in the afternoon, in the evening. Um, AKA the cat lady says, in the legal world, the standard is how a reasonable person would behave or react, and nothing about what Lauren's saying here is reasonable. Exactly. So the judge, when he gave her the limited restraining order, right? I think it was limited. I don't know exactly what it's called. He was under the impression that this person is being really threatened by a stalker because that's what she says. So she didn't have to provide any proof. She didn't have the other person didn't have an opportunity to respond. But if you are a judge and you're actually going to read all of this, if you are a reasonable person and you're going to read this, you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's not a threat. I mean, you're the one that started this, so I don't know what you want me to do here. Anyways,
Continue to clarify every day. And then when I finally feel like I get a hold of it, so it's not just like the cyberbullying that's public, it's what's going on beneath the surface.
She had been saying some things that I consider defamation to several of my professional contacts. One text that was sent to me stated that I went psycho on her and that I am manic, and other things.
So this is somebody that used to work for her, right? That says to somebody, Lauren went psycho on me. She was manic. So what did Lauren do?
From another creator that Lindsay was saying about me, things that were not true. Months and months later, I did send Lindsay a cease and desist. No.
Shh. Silence. You cannot talk about me. Shh. That's her behavior pattern. Okay. So I want to point out the things I see, and that is my personal opinion, that I see her behavioral patterns. One, inability to be honest, even though she says she's honest, right? She's fake with people. She tells people she doesn't like that she likes them. She pretends to be friends with people that annoy her. Then she apologizes. She love bombs, and then she threatens the same person the same day. So she hears somebody that worked for her is talking badly about her. She sends a cease and desist. It's a controlling mechanism. It's a manipulation mechanism. Until one day, somebody says, you know what? I'm sick of this. And she starts talking. She starts making TikToks about it. And she starts asking other people, do you have experience with Lauren? And they're like, yeah, I can tell some stories. And then she calls this a whisper campaign against her because other people are saying, I'm sick of it. Like when I worked with her, she did this, she did that. She talked about me. She talked about the victims. Well, didn't she silence the victims YouTube channel? One of the victims YouTube channel? That's her MO. It's a pattern. It's fine, but just I mean, it's not fine, but don't pretend like you're not doing that.
Not share our conversations, that it was private, and that I was
I don't know where that comes from. The whole private things. Like, I don't know. There is no such thing as privacy anymore. But whatever. You watch any 48-hour episode and you see what the lawyers find. They find everything on your cell phone. They find every text, every location, everything you searched, everything you bought, everything you Googled. They see everything. So I don't know what fantasy world that she lives on that she's like private, 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 and she expects nobody's gonna watch, nobody's ever gonna read it. I mean, I'm not gonna send somebody a message that I will be afraid somebody would find out. It's not really private, guys. Come on.
feeling threatened.
Okay, you can feel however you want, doesn't mean it's true, right? Your feelings are not facts. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are temporary sensations produced by chemical reactions of our body. A lot is included in the feelings. Maybe you don't eat enough, maybe you don't sleep enough. Feelings are not facts. Category number 9, emotional manipulation. A narcissist often uses guilt, fear, overwhelm, or dramatic emotional displays to influence others. They exaggerate emotions or crises to gain sympathy, shift blame, or control the reactions and behavior of the people around them. Yeah, arrest them. I
My
feel
8-year-old's
hurt.
mental health is not your entertainment.
I
Me
hate this
or my
part.
family, a civil stalking injunction. Escape something dangerous. I never wanted to do this live,
Yeah, you did.
but because of what Law and Crime did, I had to dismiss my civil stalking injunction
No, you didn't.
because I am never, ever going to let my child's mental health be live streamed for entertainment.
That's
I
not
received
true.
a threatening.
You read the letter where your doctor, husband, PhD psychologist guy talked about your son's mental health, and you read that letter in that same live.
Voicemail from someone named Liz.
I always just want to do things right. You know, when they go low, you go high, and just do things right.
Because if I'm going to do this live, I'm going to do it right and I'm going to do it honestly. This is going to be a very honest show. This is not drama. Hidden True Crime doesn't get involved in drama.
When people tell you who they are, believe them.
Blocked you and agreed to stop engaging, but I guess you had to have the last 2 words because apparently you have no flaws and have never made a mistake. So I will.
So this is something that I kind of like brushed through the first 2 videos, and I thought it was very interesting. I think it's going to be an email that Lauren sent to Christina. So let's see what she say here.
Please do not contact me. The fact that you continue to contact me after I blocked you leads me to question my safety. Are you going to show up my home next since you know where I
You see what she does? She's saying to Christina, are you going to show up at my house next? I think okay, so this is what I think I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys remember this story. I think at this point, Lauren and Christina were texting, okay? And then I think Lauren said, whatever, let's agree to disagree or something. and blocked Christina, but she called Christina some things, or she attacked her in a certain way. So then Christina sent an email say, apparently you blocked me. You say a bunch of things and then you don't let me respond. That's kind of like a coward or whatever it was. And then Lauren's like, oh my God, you emailed me. Now I feel threatened. Are you going to show up at my house next? So I think it's just a little exaggerated reaction.
Live and berate me until you believe your false narratives about me are proven to your confused satisfaction. I'm also asking you to stop posting lies and false information about me publicly, which now.
Okay, so here's Lauren asking Christina to stop posting about her, which she calls lies, right? So, I mean, if Christina is telling the truth about Lauren, Lauren doesn't have the right to stop her. She can ask, but she can't make her stop posting about her online, right? And that's what she's doing here, which is kind of like coming from a sense of entitlement, because she does it as an order. Do not share. Please stop sharing. Remember the text messages? Do not do this. It's just like an order. And when people give an order like this, it's because they have a sense of entitlement. They believe they're entitled to give that order. But if Christina is not saying anything that is untrue, she has the right to say it. And if she's saying things that are lies, Lauren has the right to open a defamation case against Christina. That's the only thing. Lauren doesn't have the right to just make her stop, or to tell the judge, make her stop.
Negatively impacts my business. If you continue to harass me.
Now here's the second threat. If you do this, I'll do that, right? Remember the first threat on the text message? If you don't stop, I will pursue legal action. So here's Lauren again. If you continue to harass me,
I will be forced to take legal action.
I will be forced to take legal action. So that is a threat. She has the right to say that if she's really being harassed, but it is a threat. So who's threatening who in reality, not in feelings?
Okay. And I know that was strong. I know it was. But at
No,
this point,
it was a threat. It wasn't strong. It's a threat. And a few orders.
I am shocked. I realize that she has recorded me in a courthouse. I realize that she is defaming me online. She has just called me a hypocrite and a liar. And she is taking a text with me asking, how's it doing? Completely out of context. And now is stating that I am hurting other people's businesses. So now I'm plagiarizing people and I am hurting other people's businesses, two things of which I have never done because they are considered private. And I reiterate, this is becoming a threatening matter and I will have to take legal action if it continues.
That's the first threat.
Stalker responds, Lauren, I can confidently say that what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. By the way, that's not true. I later learned that she did indeed record it, by the way, and then she put it on TikTok. So we'll get to that. But Lauren, I can confidently say that what you're claiming is false. I haven't talked to anyone about our conversation. As for your other request, I think you already know that I'm not the one you need to worry about when it comes to sharing private conversations. In other words, shaming my ex-friends. I'll be honest, receiving a message like this, especially with accusations and threats, really puts salt in the wounds. I didn't expect that from you.
Here we have a fan of the Hidden True Crime, which I also watch Hidden True Crime. I followed the Lori Vallow trial with them. So here's Sama. I was a Hidden True Crime watcher. Started the 9-hour video with sympathy, and as she unraveled, realized she was deeply disturbed, self-immolation. I also watched with sympathy. And if you guys go back to my first video, if you didn't watch, I have 2 videos prior to this one. I have one on the 9-hour live and I have one on the We Respond with her husband. And this is the 3rd video on this matter. And I also started watching the video with empathy and compassion and thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening to her? Is she okay? And as the video started and continued, I was like, wait, what? What? You don't want to be recording court, but that's what you do for a living. You record everybody in court and you talk about them. What? Like a lot of things wouldn't make sense. And I kept going. I watched the whole 9-hour video and I was like, but where's the threat? Where is the threat? What happened? Where is it? It was a lot of like what I call word salad, word salad. And there's another phrase for it, another term. Gaslighting, right? When you talk, but the substance of what you were saying is not there. There was no threats. There was no proof of threats. To this day, I don't think she provided anything. So I also watched it with compassion. I promise.
I said, I love you and I'm sorry. Thank you for
All
talking
right,
to
we
me.
already
I have a
saw
lot
that. I
to
don't want to see
process
that
about.
again. I don't want to see that again.
The contract worker calls me and unexpectedly and angrily quits on me,
Okay,
and
so
also
that's
ends our relationship for good,
okay.
as
That's when
in is
somebody
never going to talk
quit.
to me again and is going to block me. She accuses me of several things. She worked for me, but we were also very close friends.
So she has this, pattern of having relationships with people being close, which she believes is close. I don't think she knows what close relationships are, honestly, based on what her description is, right? She's like, oh, we were working together, we became really close. Then they never want to see me again and accuse me of all these things. And then I sent a cease and desist. Like those
And
relationships are weird.
after this phone call, I try not to, but I start crying hard. And
Because
Lori,
somebody quit.
Lindsay,
Okay.
and my stalker, who are my roommates in this Airbnb, they comfort me. And I am embarrassed and I keep apologizing for crying. And I am grateful for their kindness. In fact, it was a very traumatic moment for me. And I guess I can say I'm still grateful for their kindness in that moment.
You don't look grateful.
And that kindness
You
that
look
they showed
angry.
me made me open up even more to them in the coming months, because they were there for me during a very traumatic moment. Now, a few things to know about Janice. Janice,
Okay, so this
I don't
is
know her
just being
very
fake, right? This is just being fake. Look at how she, and I just want to show you guys how this is just a pattern that Lauren has. And she's not aware of that. It doesn't seem like she's aware of that at all. But she's going to say all these things that are negative about Janice, but she cannot really do it. So she's going to like try to minimize. At the same time, she's going to say, see what she does? See what she does? I would never do that. Or that's wrong what she does. But hey, I'm sure she's a great person. And then later, she's going to say, I was friendly to her at the court. I said, let's let bygones be bygones. So she can't just be authentic, right? Authentic. I don't appreciate your behavior. I don't like you. I don't like you as a person. You don't have to say all that, but you don't have to have a relationship or pretend or say, I'm sure she's a great person or talk badly about the person. You can just be civil and say, good morning, good afternoon. Oh, we're going to go hang out. Oh, no, thank you. Because you don't want to hang out with that person. That's all. But look at how fake she is. It's just a pattern.
well. This is our history, though. She was noticed by me in Daybell Facebook groups early on, years ago. I was in a lot of the Daybell Facebook groups where a lot of information is, a lot of the insider scoops. And she was quite funny. Her posts were very funny and witty. And that I thought that at first. And then her posts turned into what I consider bullying. I know everyone has a different definition of that. It's what I consider bullying. Here are a couple of them posted in groups just to kind of let you know what I saw. Here's something making fun of Colby. And here is one where she's sharing a video titled "Let's Talk About Kay Woodcock." And Kay, this video, luckily it is no longer on the web, but it defamed Kay Woodcock and lied about her and essentially implied that she was complicit in her grandson's murder and that she didn't do enough. It was a very cruel video. Kay is a victim in this case. Her brother and 7-year-old boy were murdered. And people are doing videos about her. And Janice liked to advertise those videos, and she was a mod in those videos, a moderator. And then again, you saw the other one where she's making fun of a dear friend of mine and another victim who lost his entire family. Okay, so that's good. So those are just a couple examples of why I didn't care for her. Whatever, everyone has their own opinions. She might be a really wonderful person, and I believe that Janice is a complex person, and that she's very. I don't want anyone to go and bully her if you know who she is. She's probably a very wonderful person, but she wasn't my cup of tea. Okay,
she's not your cup of tea, so she's not your cup of tea.
Let's leave her alone. But that's my history with her. So I continue to notice these types of posts and rhetoric that Janice would use that maybe people think are funny. Again, that's fine. It wasn't my cup of tea. I told my friends privately, in private, that I thought she was a bully and that she was insensitive to victims. This is my personal opinion that I'm allowed to have. And then Janice and I officially met in person at the Lori Daybell trial in Boise, Idaho in 2023. And I attempted there to try to put our differences aside and focus on what matters, justice. And I let her know that, we might be on the different political sides of the aisle, Janice, but what we both care about is justice. And so we were friendly at the trial. Although reasons set forth
You see,
herein
that
after.
was just an example, right? She cannot handle somebody not liking her and her not liking somebody. I mean, she can handle her not liking somebody and she can talk about them, but she cannot handle them knowing that she talks about them.
Permitted an unspecified, unverifiable media request, given the private classification of this case and the now criminal nature of the respondent's conduct. Closure. And so now I'm realizing, oh my gosh, she recorded me. Take a listen to the voice.
It's Liz.
Okay, so this is the voicemail she considers a threat, and she even labels Exhibit 3 threatening voicemail. Let's hear the voicemail. Let's see what we think.
Let me remind you, Liz, I know you don't recall my name, but I actually think you do recall my name. But I'd like to talk to you for a second. I'd like to talk to you about, number one, I guess, why you don't remember my name. But number two, I'd like to talk to you about why you are so upset about texts that you have sent to me in group chats about other people who I'm sure you don't, I'm sure it's hard to admit that you have said those things about those people. But I want to clear it up with you. So I would appreciate if you would call me back.
See, I know you're not happy about the things you said about people, but call me back.
No, I'm not trying to be threatening or anything. I would truly like to clarify maybe where I'm missing something. So if you would please give me a call back, I would appreciate it. My name is Liz L.
I'm just trying to clarify if I'm missing something because I hear talking shit about me, right? But Lauren likes to hide. She doesn't like to assume responsibility. So she's like, "Oh my god, I got this voicemail now. Oh shit, this is a threat." And then she goes and threatens Christina, right? Because she says, "Hey, we talked, and now I'm getting calls," which is a lie. She's getting one voicemail because somebody wants to clarify, but she's not woman enough to pick up the phone and be like, "Hey Liz, I got your voicemail. It's Lauren here. How are you? You wanted to clarify something with me? Go ahead." "Oh yeah, Lauren, I heard you were saying this and this and that." "Well, do you have any proof?" "I didn't say that." Or, "Oh, you know what, Liz, I did say that. I was going through some stuff that time. I apologize. I was not being great. You know how it is. We all make mistakes." And that's it. Like, you don't have to be as defensive as I was right now, but just like, we're all mad here is here. "Hello, my friend. Good to see you. I miss you. I miss you." So, anyways, let's see. AKA the cat lady, Lauren's lawyer also attempted to prevent his ex from speaking publicly, positive or negative, ever about him. Oh, okay. So he's from the same style, because yeah, I don't like his way of speaking either on the audio that we're gonna release right after this. We're gonna release the audio, I think, at 5 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock in my channel, you can listen to the whole court audio where the judge responded to the claims that Lauren's attorneys made, to the respondent's attorneys, and we're going to listen to the whole court audio. You guys are gonna listen.
So I said, let's talk. Let's talk. And she's like, no, I don't want to.
I don't want to talk
And I
to
said,
you,
you know
lady.
what?
Let's
Please,
talk.
please allow me to talk with you right here about it. I called you
I don't
annoying.
want to talk.
And I'm sorry. I didn't know you well then. And I told her essentially that I felt like perhaps at that time that she was further along in the friendship than I was. Maybe she thought we were closer than I felt at that time.
Okay, so anyways, let's pause here for the big disclaimer. Yes, YouTube, please take a picture of this. We're not here to diagnose. We're just here for entertainment and educational purposes. Yes. So, what do you guys think? Did you guys see any type of personality traits that you would say were a little bit narcissistic, a little bit of like ego, entitlement, grandiosity, playing the victim, blaming others, avoiding responsibility, any type of behavior like that? And if you didn't see this video, but you know somebody in your life that has those behaviors that makes you feel less than you are, please read the book that I suggested called Psychopath Free. You can buy it on Amazon. I have no I'll pin the link here, but I have no affiliation with the book. It's just a really good book that helped me with any type of emotional abusive relationship. So I'm going to read some of your comments now before we close for the day. And I'm so glad that you guys were here to hang out with me. Please check out my other videos. I have meditations that I created myself. I did the scripts, the images, everything. It's good to breathe and just bring a little light into our lives every day. And also, don't take this too seriously, guys. I know there's some people in the chat that don't agree, and that's fine. You have the right to agree or disagree, and you have the right to believe everything Lauren says. I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was convincing enough, and that's just my opinion, which is fine. You are allowed to have yours, and that is the beauty of this world we live in, right? It's a beautiful thing. But I am here to point out traits, body language, facial expressions, and psychological behaviors that I see because I'm fascinated by the subject. I just love to study human behavior. I love humans. And I think it's important to learn some patterns and traits that we all have, and also how to protect yourself from a situation with someone that may not be good for you. You know what I mean? So we're here to have fun. And I'm just glad that you guys were here this whole afternoon. We're all mad here. We missed you. Hello, where you been, girl? Good to see you. Love your take on things. Good to see you too. We have Batty Mac Batface saying, "Yes, I've subjected to this. I've been subjected to this behavior before. Once you know, it's really obvious, right? Once you know, once you've learned the lesson, whoa, it's like, oh, you're being a narcissist. I got you. I got you." Um, by the way, if you're new here, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment to help the algorithm to spread my videos to other people so we can grow, because I love doing these things. And I know that you guys enjoy some of the content as well. AK Cat Lady Bianca, you have such a beautiful soul. You're a bright light in a dark world. We try, right? We all make mistakes, but thank you so much for that nice comment. Mace Window Beauty, maybe Beauty. I hope so. And Bianca belong in the same sentence. We got Biggie Fish. I don't think Lawrence misunderstood. I think that we are understanding things clearly, and in no way should take 9 hours to make her case of why this was necessary. Also, after the 9 hour video, she did another video with her husband for like 2.5 hours. It was just weird. It was just weird. Let's hear from Silent Murmur. I think Lauren was just trying to focus on interviewing people instead of weird gossip from people in her Mormon community or whoever they are. It could be, my friend. It could be. Phoenix Flying, really love what you do. I so enjoy your accent. I don't. I wish I didn't have like such a heavy accent. But hey, we are who we are, right? I can't change that right now. Patty, you just got here. We're about to finish. Well, rewind to the beginning, and then I'll see you next time. Hopefully, next Sunday at 3 p.m. We're going to be back. I do want to ask whoever said that there was a Mormon story I should listen to. If you can send it to me, I'm going to put my email on the chat so you can email it to me. We got Biggie Fish saying, "I think you've been gaslit." Silent Murmur. Oh, just leave her alone, guys. She believes her. That's fine. No problem. We are all welcome here as long as we are civil, cordial, and respectful to one another. We can totally disagree. There is no problem with that. Okay. So guys, have a great freaking Sunday. Enjoy your life. Enjoy, if you have dogs, enjoy your dogs, your cats, your family. Maybe take a walk outside in nature. And I'll see you guys here next time. Have a beautiful day. And let's go. Let me just put this thing here. The outro. And stay here because we're going to release the audio for the court shortly. So please don't go anywhere. We're going to release the audio for the court hearing, and you're going to hear everything the judge had to say to Laura's attorney and to the respondent's attorney. Have a great. Thank you for watching, guys. Bianca MMM, your go-to place for mind meditation and motivation to elevate your life and keep you entertained. I'm passionate about exploring the human mind and psychology, and here we dive into court proceedings, body language analysis, and sprinkle in a bit of humor along the way. You will also find content to boost your personal growth, physically and mentally, featuring quick meditation techniques and uplifting messages to kickstart your day. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, take care and stay positive.